A video of time card making structure like that makes multiple time cards. It can make up to 400 or even more, but I did not show you how those time cards are made or even any formula. So now here I've created one single time card that has a lot of formula. It's a complex, very nice time card, but it's just one time card. You can use it to make your own time card, or if you are an employer, you can use it to make for your employee. But it's very good because it takes a lot of things into consideration. You can do it also to bill for your employee, where billings will be here. You can see here we have a section which says payment. Let's also put this as a to show that this is billing. Let's put the money sign so you can see there. So now this time card has a lot of things. This time card also calculates for you when you go for weekend holiday, when you take rest, it will calculate that day. If you go to duty on that day and you're supposed to rest on that day, it will also calculate that day accordingly. It will give you overtime if you went on to duty. So just like that, and you are able to choose 2 days in a week where you go for which are weekend, where you go when you go for rest, 2 days in a week. So first of all, let's see the information that we are supposed to put. We go to row 1 and row 2. Row 1 contains headers. You can check them. You can read them slowly. Don't worry, there will be a link to download this time card in my video description. So you can see there we have the name, employment number, company, like that. So I'm gonna touch on the most important ones, because from column C to J on those two rows, row 1 and 2, column C to J, that contains personal information. But one important cell there is in fact 3 is in column F, says shift, or shift. Here down there is a drop down list on the section where you are supposed to write something, and we have 4 shifts there. You can read them, and I have chosen rental shift. I use rental. Anytime you want to use this time card for billing, choose rental shift. I will explain later. And the next 2 important cells are this one, H2 and I2. They are under header that says choose 1 or 2 days for weekend. You can see down in our time card that we have after every 5 days we have 2 days highlighted in blue. These are the weekend, and you can see here on this column K, they are written Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, because we have chosen in H1 and H2 and I2 that Friday and Saturday is a weekday, is our resting days. So let me say this is my time card and I only take 1 rest in a week, and on this I choose no day. You see one blue line has disappeared. We are left with only Friday. So Saturday is not a resting day or a weekend, but if I want to put it back, I just select. So I have 2 days for resting. Then from K to N, still on row 1 and 2, we have section for billing. You can read the headers and write your own information of hourly rate, overtime rate, just like that. If we continue here, you can see that on these cells, that is O and P, we have in time. Here, O1, O2 and P2, you will write the time in and time out of in your company. So the exact timing, not the time you as an employee or your employee comes to duty, but the time work starts in your company. And in time and out time, that is work starts and work ends at this time. So those 2 cells, and we have Q to T. the headers contain names of the shifts, as I told you. Here we just call them shift, but this is normal working hours that we are referring to as shift. So if that's why I've said you can use this time card for many people. You can use it for somebody working under short shift. Maybe you say that short shift will refer to an employee who's paid overtime after working 8 hours, and long shift, the second shift, will be used to calculate for employee who's get paid overtime after working 10 hours. And the fifth shift is an employee who doesn't have overtime and he must work for 9 hours as normal hours. And the last shift is for rental. We will use this for billing. We will use this for an employee who doesn't belong to our company also, because you will be paying that employee on hourly basis. And we use rental shift also if we want to calculate the time card on hourly basis, but all the time the time card will always show that the totals are in monthly basis. But if you want the time card to also show hourly basis, choose rental shift. That's good. And one more thing about the headers, here down on the totals we have payment. If I don't want my time card to show payment, I don't choose anything on pay mode. I just click and delete anything that's on the pay mode, that is K2. Remember the cell exactly so you don't delete where you're not supposed to. And you can see details for payment have disappeared. If I want them to come back, I choose pay mode, any between monthly and hourly. Let me choose hourly, and there they come back. So now you have seen about the headers. Now let's say we want to make time card. So I won't change any information here. I will, if I want to make a time card, I will fill in data in row 2 first. All of it up to where it ends, that is up to Z. There's something I didn't explain here. On column U to Z, we have the first row 1, we have holidays. Then U2 up to Z2, you will write 6 holidays that are in your calendar, that's in your country. You have maybe 6 or more than, but according to which month you are making the time card, you have to make sure that if there are any holidays in that month, they are indicated here, as you can see. So let's go back. Let now make, I want to increase the size. Good. Now I've said you will fill information on row 2 only, then you will fill information on cell J5, that is you will write the date. You will write the date in full, you can see in formula bar, but on that J5 it will appear just like the name of the month. And you can format that cell the way you want. You can format it to show month and year, or you can format it to show the whole date. This means month or which date your time card starts. Then we come down here. So you will fill in row 2, cell J5. Then you come to time in and time out. You can see in row 8 and 9 and that we have headers here, that is from C up to L. Inside row 8 and 9, C up to L, we have headers. From there you will not fill anything on those headers, so the next place you will fill is time in and time out section for every date. Here the first header on row 8 and 9 says date, so the date is automatically, if you change this month, let's say this is not February but this is January, so we change it to becomes 1 and we have January. You can see also the weekends have jumped. Now I have also written time in, time out, and you can see there is he's getting normal hours as 8 hours because we choose rento shift, and we filled here that rento shift is equals to 8 hours. We gave people working on rento shift. I'm working on rento shift, so I've given myself 8 hours as normal hours for rento shift. So here on normal hours, that's why I am getting 8, and I am getting 3 hours overtime. You can see I'm getting 3 hours overtime because I have worked from 6 to 10 a.m. I left. I came back on duty from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. 1900 hours. Another thing to remember, our time card only uses 24-hour system. But one more thing, on date 1 I worked for 2 shifts, first shift and second shift, but the rest of the days you can see I worked for only 1 shift, but almost same time threshold, 6 to 17. I'm getting same normal hours, 3 hours overtime, just like date 1. So this tells you if you are working for 2 shifts, you will feel in that you are working in for 2 shifts, time in, time out, time in, time out. And if you are working for 1 shift, just feel 1 shift and forget the second shift because you are not working on first shift, and the formulas will calculate just exactly as they are supposed to. And you can see that on the first 2 resting days of the weekend, that's Friday and Saturday, I've written here N. It means N means normal. You can see on remarks. When we put normal, it says on that day I should be given only normal hours and no overtime. That day was a weekday, was a weekend, or was a resting day. I just put it normal. But if I came on to duty, you can see what happened on date 11. Date 11 is a resting day. I came on duty 6 to 17. I got 8 hours normal working hours, and I got 11 hours as overtime. And that day also, that day was a holiday. I will show you on the next section when we will be learning about the formulas, how this day, how our time card is able to differentiate that this day was a holiday. And if you can check on row 2, that is row 2 cell on the header holidays, you can see that date 10, 11 and 13 of January were holidays. You can see that's why here we have date 10 as holiday, date 11 holiday, and you can see on day 10 it was holiday, but I did not come duty. I just write H on in time and out time. I only get normal hours because if it is holiday and you did not go duty, if it is holiday you automatically get normal hours. But if it's holiday and you go duty, how many hours you work on that day, the totals will be automatically overtime. So that's why on date 11 it was holiday, I went on to duty, I got 11 hours as overtime because I worked from 6 to 5 p.m. So all those hours I worked, I got overtime, and normal hours was there automatically. Also, you can see that 13, it's holiday, and I put H. But what this tells you, but I did not get I only got normal hours, and the holiday is there. On the 10 and 11, the holidays fell under weekend. That's why they have blue colors. But any holiday should appear just like day 13 if it is on a weekday. Then here I have the 15. I've written P in time, P out time. I got penalty. P means penalty. We continue. So you can see that if you work on weekend, you get total of out time minus in time as overtime. And if for the weekday normal days, you just get the overtime comes after working, after deduction of normal hours. If that shift says your normal hours are 8 hours, the formula will take out time minus in time minus normal hours, then you get the overtime. That's why on regular days I'm only getting 3 hours overtime. These are regular days, that's weekday. It is not a special day, it's not a holiday or a weekend, as you have seen. We come down here. This is any letter that's put on in time. It has a remark. It's written as a whole name in the remark column. So you can see if we put S, it says he is sick and he gets normal hours. If A absent and he gets nothing, like that. We have L, which means leave, he gets 8 hours, and just like that. So here let's continue to fill date 30 and 31. Say copy, in time and out time, just say paste, and we get just like that. We get normal hours and overtime. On the last day, date 31, I am getting 11 hours overtime because the day was on a weekend. That's why I get 11 hours as overtime. And now down there we have the totals. You can see them, the totals here. We have monthly summary, we have hourly summary, we have payments. If you want using the time card for billing, then the payments will be there. To make this information for payments available, just make sure that you fill something in K2. If I'm not using this time card to bill, I'm not using it to bill, I just wanted to show information for monthly totals and hourly totals. I just delete K2, whatever is there, I just make the cell empty and the information for payment disappears. If I want information for hourly basis or hourly summary to vanish, I just change shift from rental to any other shift. So only rental shift will show hourly basis. But if there's no if the shift is not under rental, it won't show anything. So let's say rental, and let's say here it's hourly basis. So we can see what we have, that now our time card is finished. I had filled the information for in time and downtime earlier. Now let's say that in this time card we say that we want to see how to calculate if our time card can calculate when I don't make 8 hours for normal hours. Maybe I'm supposed to work from 6 to 5 p.m. but I came to work from 6 to 10 a.m. Let's delete date 1 second shift, make the cells empty for the second shift of date 1. Now you can see I have -4. Normal hours are 8, but I have -4. So the normal hours will remain constant. It will never change as per what shift, but deduction will go to the overtime. And down on our totals, you can see there is deduction of 4 hours, as you can see in the hours, that is deduction in hours, penalty. The header reads like that is in itself for C46. So you can see the totals. We have penalty, we have deduction hours, we have total period days. The employee was supposed to work up to date 31. So we have 31. We have total overtime. Overtime total is total minus any negative, we get 110. Then we have sick leave, there is 1 sick leave there. We have other leave, there is 1 leave day there. Remember we have written L on a certain date. There is 1 absent there. We wrote A, that is on date 8. And we have total working days. Total working days will be total period days minus any absent and any penalty day. So here we have one absent and one penalty. That's we are having the result of total working days as 29. When we come to the other summary, so one thing is that monthly salary will always be there. Under any shift you put, monthly summary will always be there. It will never disappear. The second is hourly summary. On here we have normal hours per day. That is as per the shift. If we change rental shift, not 8, let's say he's working for 10 hours, click enter, you can see everything has changed. Even the amount of overtime and normal hours column has changed, and the totals also have changed. So here on hourly summary we have 10 as normal hours per day. We have down normal working hours, total overtime, total working hours. Total working hours is total working hours I will show you in the formulas, and also payment I will show you in the formulas. So now we have built this time card. We have put information, and we can print the time card. Let's say print. Our time card will print just from starting from the name of the company. The row 1 and row 2 will disappear because they are just for putting, they are not supposed to be on the time card. We use them to put information. So our time card will be just like this. So let's go back. I want to show you something. Here it says that I now assume I'm the employee. I work under Flywave International Company. On the header company name, we have down cell that you should put the name of the company. We have SPM, DTL, and we have FWC. If I say SPM, you can see the name of the company changes to Speech Motors. So I have a formula there. So on the formulas I will show you how we put that and how you can choose name. Now let's come to the hard part, or the side for those who want to make just like this one and learn how the formulas work or how I design these formulas. So first of all, you can see some data that you did not see when I was illustrating how to use the time card. So we didn't have column B, it wasn't open, but we have it now. These columns that have information that are in red color means that other cells are depending on this information. That's why we have it. So, and you did also not see these cells, this information. It was there, but I had moved it onto this side for not just to avoid confusion when I was showing how to use the time card. And we can also see here we have these initials, and we have names of the companies here. So for row 1 and row 1, they contain headers. There are no formulas there. You just need to put the information direct. But row 2 has got some formulas, especially here. Here, no, not formula, but some drop-down list. You can see here we have a drop-down list. If you know how to make a drop-down list, you just build direct. So for this one, I just take the drop-down list from names of the shifts. Remember, I showed you where they are from Q. That is row 1. From Q, 4 cells continuous. We have rental drop-down list also, and we also have H2 drop-down list. For H2, the drop-down list is here from 3 from B3 to B8, and second day of the weekend is from B3 to B9 drop-down list. So and so row 2 contains only drop-down list, and some others you just have to put direct. So when you're making the time card, remember we said that you have to fill information in row 2 first so you can make the time card. So now the first formula is on how we get the name of the company. So here it's just simple. We have used the if statement. We say that if this cell, the cell is cell E2, the cell is cell C3, but to get this name of the company, we don't write anything here. We just write anything. We just write in cell E2, that is in under header company name. So we just write the initials, but the information will come here. So we say that if E2, this one, is equals to M5. M5 is this information, is the initials. Then if E2 is equals to M5, then the information which should appear here should be N3. So if E2 is equals to M5, then N3. Otherwise, if E2 is equals to M6, so it should be this one. So for easier, if this cell E2 is equals to SPM, then this cell should be speech motors, should show whatever is in N5. So if M5 is equals to SPM, so this cell should show whatever is in N5. Same as this one, same as this one. So our formula just says like that. Then at the end it says otherwise leave it, and we click enter and we are good to go. So just continue. The rest we don't have formulas on the rest of the cells up to how now to calculate the normal hours. I showed you how to put the in time. First thing I wanna, now that we are running on how to make these formulas, first formula also here, the second formula is for the date. How we get the date? The first date is automatic. We just say is equals to this cell where you will be writing the first day of the month, and you have to write it this way. So it is on this cell that is J5 is only showing January because we formatted the cell to show like that, the name of the month only. So but for the cell 2 we will have a formula. This formula relies on cell B1. Cell B1 has the information for the last day of that month which you are making the time card for. So our time card currently is on January. So this uses the formula EO month. EO month is a formula for getting the last date of the month. So we say is equals to EO month J5 start date of the month, then that is we write comma, then 0. 0 means count how many months, 0. So on count continuous how many months, only 1. So when you write 0 you just say only that month and you click enter. So when we come to make day 2 we will say, you can see the formula in formula bar, if date 1 is less than last date of the month, then date 1 plus 1, otherwise leave it. So the formula is like that, and the reason we put dollar signs in this here where the last date of the month is to make that cell absolute. So all the cells that contains day 2, day 3 like that will be referring to the last date of the month there. So for the in time, out time, we don't have any formula, but now we need formula for normal hours. But before we get formula for normal hours, first of all we need to write on column B2 from B10 all the way down to the last day of the month. So this is easy. We have written this Wednesday means date 1 was Wednesday, so we want this cell to show the name of that day, of that date. So we use the is equals text formula or function. So we say is equals to C10. C10 is date 1, and we say comma double speech marks DD double speech marks close the bracket. Means we want the name to be in full letters, but if we want the name to show, if we want the name to be in just 3 letters, just write 3 D's and it will be like that. But since other formulas are relying on that cell and it should be in whole name, so we have to write double D, click enter. So we put our formula back the way it was. So and the rest of the days we'll just have exact formula. So this one relies on this cell. So cell B10 relies on cell C10 to get that name. So now we have used that, and because we will need that to make some formulas, which formulas that to get the normal hours we will be relying on. So here this information was hidden before, as I told you, and let me show you what it is. We have here header, the line on purple are for headers. So we have here this purple says weekend, and so how we get the weekend, we have a formula here. So first I show you headers. This one has nothing. The next one says present. So this one, all the cells down that header will be calculating if the employee was present. We'll be showing P if the employee is present. And in fact, they will show P. I will explain the formula if the employee is present or not, but if he was supposed to be on duty. Then the next one is shift. So we want to know the name of the shift, which employee is working under. So this is name of the shift. So the next one is HOT. This means holiday overtime. The next one says holiday, and the last one says shift. So first we take the first formula here. We click the first cell, that is M10, and we go to the formula bar. The formula bar says that is equals to if, open the bracket, R10 is equals to 8, then 6. Otherwise, if, open the bracket, K10 is equals to H2, then 6. Otherwise, if K10 is equals to I2, then 6. Otherwise, double speech marks, that is, leave it like that, then close the bracket 3 times and click enter. So let me explain this formula. R10, we can see here column R is referring to holidays, and K10 is this is under column that will be showing the name of the day. Then we have I2. I2 has the second name of the I10 has the second name of the weekday. So first of all, and now here it says if the day is a holiday, then write 6. Otherwise, if the day is same as first rest day, then write 6. Otherwise, if the day is same as second holiday, then write 6. Otherwise, leave it. So first this checks if to write the weekend, it checks if the day is a weekend, and also checks if the day is a holiday. That's why we have 6 on these days. They are weekend there, and this day is a holiday, we have 6 there. So this one checks if a day is a weekend or is a holiday, and we get that. So for present, we will use it. We have a formula there which says Now for present, we need to consider a lot of things. We need to consider what is in time and out time. We need to consider also if the in time and out time corresponds to our working start and ending start times, that is an O2 and P2. So the formula goes like this: is equals to if, and we are using nested if and the add function. I will be saying the correct information which this cell refers to. So D10 refers to in time, as you can see. So the formula says if and D10 is greater than or is equals to O2. O2 contains information for our work starting time. So if in time is greater than or is equals to starting time, and in time or in time is less than or is equals to out time, then P means present. Remember, we are working on formula for present. Then the rest of the formula says if in time is equals to A, then P. If in time is equals to L, then P. Otherwise, if in time is equals to S, then P. Otherwise, if in time is equals to H, P, and P. That if in time is equals to P, which is penalty, then the employee is present. So P is the value if the statement is true, and then otherwise leave it. So if the statement is false, leave the cell empty, don't write anything. We click enter. We have finished that formula. Then we continue. The next formula is for the shift. This is easy. You just write is equals to, same as F2. Click F4. You have put $sign and you have made the cell to be absolute. Then the next one contains holiday overtime. This is different for the holidays, because holiday overtime, I said when I was explaining on how to use the Timecard, I explained that holiday overtime is any holiday that you choose to put, and it is not a calendar holiday, but you choose to put it as a holiday. So the formula goes like this: is equals to if and out time is greater than in time, and this comma means and the day is a holiday. R10 is equals to 8. Remember that formula in R10 is says that if the day the holidays. Now we have not done that, but it refers to that. R10 is equals to H. If the day is a holiday, then take out time minus in time. So, and click enter. So this cell is for getting results if you choose to put a certain day as holiday and it is not a calendar date. So the result for whatever should be on the in time on the results for normal hours or overtime will be this one. So our formulas for normal hours and overtime will be referring to these cells. That is why they are outside the time card and down here, and we have put them some different colors. So the next one is for holiday. This is just if statement. This says that if C10, remember C10, you can check the cell itself. If C10 is equals to $U, $2, $U, $2 is here. These are the days. So this formula checks if C10 is equals to U2, then write 8. 8 means holiday as per my formula. If C10 is equals to V2, write 8. If C10 is equals to W2, write 8. If V10 is equals to X2, Y2, Z2, write 8. So that's how this formula says, and we are putting $sign to make it absolute because we don't want the next cell, the next formula to calculate here and the next one to calculate here. So we don't want our formula to calculate on relative references. Our formula is absolute. That's why we are putting $sign. So of every day of that month, the formula should refer to these dates only, no other cells. That's why we are putting the $sign, as you can see. So the next one is shift. If we want to get the shift, it is just same as what we did for the holidays. So this one says that if F2, this cell where we choose which shift the employee is working under, is equals to same as the name of the shift. So we start with, if this cell is equals, if F2 is equals to Q1, if F2 is equals to Q1, Q1 has the name short shift, has the header, then is equals to $Q, $2. $Q, $2 has hours for that shift, and the rest of the formula checks the rest of the shift and takes whatever is under that shift. Then at the end it says otherwise leave it. If it is anything else, don't write anything, and don't calculate anything, or don't write anything on that cell. Click enter. So now that we have gone through those ones, we can be able to go through the formula for normal hours. So normal hours formula is a bit long. So the normal hours formula goes like this. If C10, that is, so the normal hours formula will check if there is date, it will check if there is something on the in time, then it will check which shift the employee is working under. So it says if C10 date 1 is equals to nothing, then leave it. Otherwise, if in time is equals to H, write 8. So if it is holiday, you write H, the normal hours will be 8. So we continue. If in time is equals to P, leave it. If in time is equals to A, leave it. If in time is equals to N, then leave it. Otherwise, if in time is equals to S, then leave it. Otherwise, if in time is equals to T, then leave it. Otherwise, if in time is equals to nothing, then nothing. So when I say in time, remember the formula has been written D10. If D10 is equals to H, then 8, like that. So we have checked first of all the date, the in time. Now the formula continues to check what shift is am I working under, what shift is the employee working under or is categorized under. So the formula continues. Otherwise, if and here we will be referring to two cells, then we take one result. So that's why we are using, we are putting the AND function after the if statement. So we say if and $F$2 is equals to $Q $1. So if the cell for writing shift is equals to whatever is in is equals to short shift, then take whatever is in under short shift. How many, what you put under short shift, that is Q $2. If it is 8, then it should be like that. Otherwise, if, then the rest of the formula checks the rest of the shifts and put whatever is under that shift. I hope we are together on that, or to the end. Then The last one says otherwise, if and in time is equals to 0, then write 0. Otherwise, leave it. Then we click enter and we get our answer. Then we just go here. The next formula is for overtime. Now, the overtime will check on two things, or many things. The overtime will check if the employee is working under 2 shifts. The overtime will check if the day is a holiday, if the day is a weekend, and the overtime formula will also check the shift that the employee is working under, so as to calculate. And the formula will also check in time and out time, so as to get the answer. So now the formula will start like this, that if and out time is greater than in time and the day is a weekend, that is M10 is equals to 6, close the bracket, then take out time minus in time, close the bracket, plus go to second shift G10, that is out time minus in time of the second shift, then you get that. Then otherwise, now we have checked if the day is a weekend, our formula should do like this. Then from here, if our day is a weekend, you can see if our day, like I'm highlighting on the formula bar, if our day is a weekend, then our formula should calculate like that. If the day is a weekend, our formula should calculate on first shift and second shift. Then otherwise, if and M10 is equals to nothing, the day is not a weekend, then take out and out time is greater than in time, then take out time of the first shift minus in time, plus out time of second shift minus out time, minus H10 normal hours. Otherwise, if and the day is a holiday and in time of the first shift is greater than out time is greater than in time, then take out time minus in time. So we started by checking. First we check if the day is a holiday. That's why we are referring to M10. Remember here we write on M10 checks if the day is a holiday and the day is a weekend. Then the second one, we checked if the day is not a weekend or a holiday, what should be done. Then the last one, we check if the day is a holiday, what should our formula do. Then we just click enter and our formula had already finished. So we continue. On weekend, yes, we have a formula. Sorry, I forgot. The formula we put here is to bring the name of the day. So we are checking the day. It will bring the name of the day only if the day is a weekend. That's why we put this formula. It checks if the day is a weekend and brings the name of that day. So formula will be looking whatever is on column B. That's why, remember, we put this formula here. I explained about it. That's why column B has information of the day. So the formula goes like this. If first $H $2, if first day of weekend is same as first date of the month, then take first date. Otherwise, if second day of the weekend is same as first day of the month, then second day of the month. Remember here, when I say about first date and first date of the month, it is just I'm referring to the cell B10. But if we go to the second day, if we go to the second date, under the weekend column, we go to date 2 under weekend column, that is column K, it will refer to date 2. So this is checking if this day, if the weekend day is same as that date name, then the name should be shown here. That's why we have this showing Friday and this showing Saturday, because we are taking rest on Friday and Saturday. 2 days we already choose here up. So the next formula is for the remarks. This is just if statement and nothing else. It refers to the initials you put on in time, then writes the whole name of that initial. So I have used initials H for holiday, S for sick, N for normal. Then we have used we have also checked if the day is a week is a holiday. That is, if R10 is equals to 8, then light holiday. Otherwise, if in time is equals to A, absent, T, transfer, L, leave, P, penalty. So that is the formula for initials, which will be shown here. So after making those formulas for normal hours, overtime, weekend, and the remarks, just pull down. You just click on the cell like that and pull down. Just now you would pull down all the way up to the last date of the month. Then from there we will calculate the totals. So we need formulas here. So we want to count penalty days. We will use formula COUNTIF. So we will say is equals to COUNTIF, the column for in time, is equals to P. Then here is P. Remember, we are not looking whatever is in second shift. Reason is second shift formula just deducts, and I think I explained how to use the timesheet, that even if you start your shift at afternoon, that will be your first shift. You have to fill that as the first shift. So I only write there that name morning shift here, but this is supposed to be first shift. So if you start working afternoon, you should fill information here. That's why even if you come here at afternoon shift and write P and here P, you see it does not change the penalty days. It only affects the value of the totals of amount of the hours, just affecting, but it is not it's not supposed to change anything. So we are only referring to the first shift. So if there is P, so COUNTIF function checks the range of the cells you put, then the letter you say that should be checked on, then gives you the result. So we click enter. So we have on the in time that there is 1 P. That is from date 1 to date 30. How many P's are there? 1. So we go deduction in hours. This also checks deduction in hours. We use the formula SUMIF. We take the range of the overtime, that is I10 to I40. Then check if there is -1. So this is the formula, is equals to SUMIF, open the bracket, range I10 to I40, check right comma, double speech, -1, double speech marks, then close the bracket, and you have the formula. So it checks how many negative, if there is a number which is below -1. Then we have total period days. Total period days, this counts how many P's are in column O that is from the header present, how many P's are there. So we just use count if. Then we go to total overtime deduction, total overtime minus deduction hours. So we will take this I've referred it to is equals to I41. So let's see what is in I41. So I41 is here. I41 says the sum of all overtime there. So the sum of overtime is there. So that is direct. So remember, if we use sum and there's a negative number, automatically Excel minuses the negative number and gives you the result. That's why it's a direct sum that range, then get the total. Then we have sick leave, also count if. We check on in time of the first shift. If there is any S, then we get the total. We have other leave days, same thing, check range of in time, that is D10 to D40. If there is L, then you get something. Total absent days, same thing, check in time, range D10 to D40 if there is A, letter A. Then we have total working days. Total working days, we take total period days, the days that the employee was supposed to be on duty, minus any absent, minus also that. Now we take total period days minus absent plus present plus penalty, then we get the total. Then we come here, we have hourly summary. Then in hourly summary, remember I said that if we remove this shift rent or we put any other shift, this information disappears about hourly summary. So we need a formula that brings this change to happen. So we go to this cell I45, which has the normal hours per day. So we are checking if cell F2 is equals to T1, if is equals to rental. If this cell where we write the shift name is equals to rental, then double speech mark normal hours per day, double speech marks, comma, double speech marks. That is, if the shift is rental, then write normal hours per day. So down it, normal working hours, same procedure. If the shift is rental, then normal hours per day, just like that. Remember always to put $, lock the formula. That is locking the formula. Same thing for the total overtime. It is how we just use. We just take those cells and we just check if the shift is rental, then we write total hours overtime. Then total working hours, same thing. That is for the words. So how we get the calculation for normal hours per day? We check the cell for the shift. If the shift is rental, then take whatever is under rental shift. If I say that rental shift is 8 hours, so this cell should be 8. Now that we have said that our rental shift has 10 hours, that's why here we have 10. Then the normal hours, we check. We say that this formula, we want to check how many normal hours I get is equals to, if the shift is rental, then take T1, T1, otherwise. So this is how it goes. If the cell is rental, normal working hours. If the shift is rental, then take total working days multiply by normal hours. If the cell is rental, if F2 is equals to T1, then take H52 times L45, otherwise leave it. The next one is total overtime. Total overtime, we use the formula if is text. Remember in Excel that if a cell is empty, it is taken as that cell is empty. If the cell is empty, that cell is taken to have text. So any empty cell, this formula says that cell has something. So that is why we say if is text L45, then leave it. So if L45 is empty, leave it. If otherwise, if there is any digit there, if there is something, then take H48. If there is something in L45, you will see that L45 contains number for normal hours. Then take H48. H48 has name for the overtime. That is for the overtime we are referring to. So you can click enter. Take total working hours. Take total working hours. So the formula is equals to if F2, the shift is rental, then take L46. L46 is total of normal working hours, plus, that is add in the formula, add total of overtime. Otherwise, leave it. Just like that. We have finished that. Now we go to the payment. Here, first of all, we go to the words basic salary, overtime, total salary. Same procedure, but this one now about getting the words. We use if statement. If K2 has whatever we should put for the pay mode. If K2 is equals to nothing, then leave it. Otherwise, basic salary. So this is how K2 is writing. So we have basic salary because our cell our K2 has something. It is not empty. There is some data. So the next one is overtime. Same procedure. Check K2. If there is something, then write something here. Then check total salary. Same procedure. Those are the how to get the ones. So now we want to come to the totals, the money now. How we get 1830? It says is equals to if F2 name of the shift is equals to T1 is equals to rental, name of the shift. Then take L48 times L2. Remember, L48 contains total working hours multiplied by the rate of hourly rate. So L2 has the hourly rate. So you will multiply by total working hours. Then the next formula says is equals to if F2 is equals to T1 rental, then take L47. L47 has total working overtime, multiply by overtime rate, that is M2, then overtime rate times L48. Then we will have finished that. So we come to others, that is any allowance like this. That's why not others, but overtime. Same procedure. Just check if the whatever check whatever is in the overtime totals, then multiply by overtime rate. Otherwise, check if pay mode. Check if H48, H is 76 total overtime minus times M2. M2 has the overtime rate, so you will get days and monthly rate. Just you multiply by monthly rate and you get the total. So now we have the total salary. This is sum of basic salary plus overtime, and our time card will you will have made your own time card. One thing I would like to point out, you can change the structure of how I put row 1 and 2. You can change it not to go to be long, as in you have to scroll the bar to see the rest of the information on the other side. You can choose to locate it anywhere. I just choose this way. It's easy for me because I don't want the document to go down too much. Otherwise, that's how I was able to make this time card. It's a very powerful. There are some more links that I haven't highlighted here. How do we get these smart colors? Like, how do we get, like, if now I'd say that he only had 1 day for weekday, you can see blue color is there. It comes and goes as per what you write here. So I just highlighted here. I will show you. You highlight from this side because you want the color to come up to this side. Highlight all up to remarks, then go down up to last date, that is 31. Then click home, click conditional format, then say manage rules. Then you can say new rule, say use formula, say is equals to first date name, that will be cell B10. Click F4 2 times. Reason is we don't want to lock we are just locking the column. We are just locking the column and not the row. That's why we are putting only $1 You can put the $sign on the row manually, or you can put it by clicking F4. Then click is equals to same as first weekend. Then the first weekend, just click OK and you will have finished. But because I have already made this formula, I will not write it again. And you will do that for the second day of the weekend, and you will click the day, the second weekend day instead of the first weekend day, and you will have then after clicking all this, I can say format, fill in. You can choose any color, you can put borders, you can change the format like that, and there you will have finished your formula. So it is now for this one, for the formats of the remarks, I have done like this. I have chosen that you just click here, you come to home, then you say conditional format, you say manage rules. If this you will choose that let me show you direct, because this one will not use a formula. We will use a specific text or a letter. So format cells that contain, choose specific text. You can say L and it will show there. Yeah, so let me show you one by one, just like I have written them. You say that if that cell contains, we have the formula that shows what name should be there. So we want to highlight we want to put color. So you say if the cell contains sick, so when we click new rule, we will choose specific cell contains specific text. You write the name of the text, you go formatting, and you choose the colors and everything. So just like that. So for each name, you will choose a different color, all of them. That is how I have done it. Now I think you have understood everything, but in case you don't get anything, something goes wrong, or you did not understand anywhere, or you try to make and you get stuck on the way, feel free to comment. You can ask any question through the comments. Let the comments come. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends. This is a high powerful time card making tool. It took me hours to make it. I know if you are also gonna try to make it, somehow it's gonna take you a few hours, but at the end you will have something special. Thank you very much. Click and subscribe to my channel and like the video and share it.